continue with our practice. Third half sun style. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. So Namaskar. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, either finding your down dog and holding, or cycling through a push-up with or without the knees. Inhaling into your up dog. And then exhaling back to down dog and holding. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to connect with your hands, grounding down through each finger. Lots of space between each finger. Finding a little more pressure between the thumb and the forefinger as we draw the energy up from the ground. Strong shoulders, either letting the neck relax and the head be heavy or long through all sides of the neck as you look back towards your neck. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, right in the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. Let your breath make the call. Always finding that balance between your effort and your ease. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in and as your Ujjayi breath flows out. From down dog, long smooth breath in, long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or maybe take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling full. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one more. We'll add on if you choose. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight. I'll go sideways here. Either holding your down dog or letting your inhale bring you forward to the top of a push-up. And then drawing it back on the exhale, back to down dog. Two more times like this, inhaling forward. Exhaling back. This last one, let's hold. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, holding. Inhaling, holding. Exhaling, holding. One more half breath, breathing in. And breathing out, drawing it back and holding for another breath or so. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. So Namaskar B. It starts with a chair pose. Knees connected. Knees over toes, hands overhead. Adding an extra breath, exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. I'll invite you to find a little back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. I'll go sideways from down dog, flow style. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Finding a three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky. High on the left toes. Looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through. Landing it lightly as we spin the back heel down. Hands can always find the hips as we find our balance. And then arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge as we spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. From down dog, second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky. High on the right toes. Now looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through, spinning the back heel down, finding your warrior one, arms up and over the head, and then on the exhale, back to low lunge as we spin back heel up, and then back to down dog as you will. And as always, that child's pose option, finding that balance between your effort and your ease. Whether you choose down dog or child's pose, it'll allow you to breathe into the back, finding lots of space, lots of air in those back lungs. From down dog, long smooth breath in, long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. On the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, hands by our side, neutral spine. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B. We'll add a hip opening sequence into the mix. Inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Again, let me go sideways here for a different perspective. Flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes. Lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that top leg, opening up that right hip. And then looking between the hands, sweeping that right foot out through. Spinning the back heel down, finding your Vira 1, your Hero 1 pose. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge, and then back to down dog as you will. And again, take your time, find your flow, follow your breath. From down dog, second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Now stacking the hips, lifted leg straight. Now bending that leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, sweeping that left foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Again, take your time. Nice. As we hold down dog, coming back to an even breath and watching that breath as it flows in and as it flows out. From down dog, long smooth breath in, long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, finding your chair pose, stay low. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, a light press of the thumb against the sternum, lining up each finger. Relax shoulders, a slight tuck of the chin. As we bring our attention back inside, just following the flow of our breath as it flows in and as it flows out. And then hands by our side. The breeze has picked up here, so let's warm it up a little bit.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's step or jump our feet hip width apart. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms out to the side. On the exhale, we're going to cross the arms in front and bend the knees. Inhaling. Now switching the cross. And let's do 6 of these. Halfway done. Couple more each way. One more each side. And then back up. And hands by our side. From here, let's bring hands on hips and let's step our left foot back as we line up the heels. And we'll take a little bit more time in our warrior one here. So finding a length of stance that works for your legs. From here, we can take our hands to our shoulders, relaxing and squaring those shoulders front. From here, a clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, and then stretching those hands high to the sky. Let me go sideways for the different perspective. In our Warrior One, on the inhale, I'll invite you to gather up the energy. On the exhale, finding this letter W shape as we offer that energy out. Now let's do this 6 times. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Halfway done. Inhale, exhale. Last 2. Inhale, exhale. Last 1. Inhale, exhaling this shape. And I'll invite you to hold it for a breath or 2. The elbows come back, the hands come with. I'll invite you to wiggle those fingers, keeping our hands supple. Now hands find the heart as we turn Warrior One into Warrior Two, opening up our hips, kicking the back foot in for heel to arch alignment, and then finding one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, let's paint rainbows, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. 3 more to go. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in, breathing out. And now moving towards extended side angle. Back hand finds the hip. We ground forearm on top of the thigh. The palm faces up. 3 steps on the top arm. We can just let that arm hang down to the ground, releasing any tension in that shoulder. Now finding more space in that shoulder as we stretch that hand away. Keeping that sense of space as we sweep that hand front. Holding extended side angle, finding as much space between that back foot and that top hand. You might imagine an arrow flying through space. From here, let's work with that top shoulder as we circle the hand front, tracing it with our eyes. Exhaling, letting it soften. A couple more times like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's take it the other way. Exhaling and inhaling into extension. Exhaling and inhaling. Last 1. Exhaling and inhaling and holding. And now I'll invite you to either stay here, enjoying that sense of space on that lateral top line, or moving towards a half moon as hand finds the hip. We slide the back foot in, setting our base right hand off to the right, lifting back leg, setting the shoulder, stretching hand high, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Nice. Awesome. From our half moon coming down with grace and control, we land that back foot, 2 feet find the floor or roof. We find our Warrior Two shape, and then I'll suggest a big windmill of the arms as we find low lunge, and from low lunge back to down dog as you will. Yeah, find your flow. No rush at all. And as we hold down dog, coming back to an even breath and watching that breath as it flows in and as it flows out. From down dog, moving towards our second side. No, we didn't do that. From here, look, no, not yet. Okay. I cued it from a standing shape. Yeah. So we're in our down dog. Mm-hmm. We're going to look between the hands and mindfully make our way front. Mm-hmm. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Again, let's come back to our chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. Hands by our side. Let's do another warm-up exercise here. So let's jump our feet hip-width apart. On the inhale, we're going to bring hands to one side. On the exhale, we're going to pass through center as we bend the knees. Inhale, other side, and then back through center. Maybe letting that breath whoosh out through the mouth. Super loose. And let's do 6 of these. This is halfway. Couple more each way. 1 more each side. And then back to center and hands by our side. This time hands find the hips as we step our right foot back, lining up the heels. From here, we We can relax and square our shoulders. Switching the clasp of the fingers as we press the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, and then stretching those hands high. From here with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. 3 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding for a big breath. Breathing into our heart. Breathing into our throat. 4th and 5th chakra. You might wiggle those fingers. And then turning 1 into 2 as hands find the heart. We open up the hips, might kick the back foot in just a little bit, and then finding that one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. From here, painting rainbows, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Halfway done, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in, breathing out. From warrior 2, moving towards extended side angle. Back hand finds the hip. We ground the forearm on top of the thigh. 3 steps on the top arm, just letting it hang down to the ground. Now finding more space in that shoulder as we stretch it away. Now sweeping that hand front, feeling that immense sense of length between that back foot and that top hand. Again, you might imagine an arrow in flight, infinitely progressing towards the target, maybe giving a little gaze up towards that top hand. From here, we can circle the hand back as we trace it with our eyes, exhaling, letting us off. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Now switching direction, exhaling, inhaling into extension, exhale, and inhale. Last 1, exhale. And inhale and hold. And feeling free to hold here. Arm moving towards your half moon. Hand finds the hip. We step the back foot in. Left hand off to the left. Finding your foundation. From the foundation, finding the float. Setting the shoulder, stretching hand high. Either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky. With that mixture of effort and ease. One more long, smooth, slow breath here. And then coming down with grace and control, we land that back foot lightly, coming back to our warrior 2. And from warrior 2, a big windmill of the arms as we find low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog. As you will, either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or maybe choosing that child's pose instead. Always coming back to a place of equanimity. Just balance between effort and ease in our breath. It's a good indication of that. When we're working too hard, we're panting, we're heaving. When we're not, when we're being maybe a little too relaxed, you're not connecting with the breath. You're not feeling the breath. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay there. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, stepping or jumping to the front of the mat. Take a breath to find life. On the exhale, folding. One more time, let's come to our chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, either keeping a light. High hands can come back to the hips. We can straighten that right leg. We can lift that left thigh high. The toe points down. Either staying here without dropping the thigh, going long through that leg. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then we're going to sweep it on through. We'll find one more standing pose here. As we move towards our warrior 3, feel free to tap that toe down. And then we're going to start to pitch the body forward as we lift that back leg. Either keeping hands on hips or stretching hands back towards that back foot. We can find our airplane, our eagle arms out to the side. Classically, we can sweep the hands front and then lifting the face to look through those hands as if you're looking through a large glass ball. From here, let's bend the standing leg and ground down through two hands and we'll find a standing half split as we lift that back leg even higher. From here, softening that front leg, finding our low lunge as we step that back foot back. Let's keep back heel lifted as we bring hands to our hips, and then stretching hands high to the sky. From here, let's find crescent lunge twist as we bring hand to hip. We reach for the front of your mat. We can start the twist with the wrist. We can slide to the elbow, either staying here or finding your prayer hands, either looking down, off to the side, or up past that elbow with that mixture of effort and ease.
Maybe not in front, sorry.
You might challenge yourself straight to that back leg, without locking the knee though. Coming out of our twist easily as we frame front foot with both hands. From here, let's ground the back knee. Let's unfurl the back foot. Let's walk this front foot a little bit forward, keeping the knee over the heel and in line with the toes. From here, moving towards gecko, we're gonna angle our toes out once, heel meets the toes, angling the toes out one more time, and again, being super careful with this knee. We'll bring two hands inside that front leg. We'll start to melt the elbows on down as we get into our right hip. I'll invite you to relax that neck. Heavy the head. Yeah, if you can go farther, go for it. Some of you all will be able to find your forearms. Prefer your foot to come in just a little bit. Keep yourself safe. In our gecko stretch, let's come back up to two straight arms. Let's bring this foot back in. From here, let's tuck the back toes to lift the back knee as we find our low lunge, and then back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa, or stretching straight back, or maybe sneaking in a child's pose instead. Doing what's right and good for you. This morning, wherever you choose to work, breathing, watching that breath, and enjoying your reflection upon that breath. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or maybe take that jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Let's hold the forward fold as we toe heel our feet wide. Soft knees catching opposite elbows and gently swaying it from side to side. Now switching the cross of the elbows, keep swaying side to side. And let's give our low back some support here on the roll up as we bring hands onto our thighs. Chin is tucked as we masterfully roll our spines on up. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, two hands high in the air as if we're holding a big ball. Three big full-bodied breaths. Our hands and fingers can mimic our ribs. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then inhaling, hands to heart. Either keeping that light press of the palms as your weight gathers in your feet, or adding that isometric engagement. Shoulders engaged, adding that tuck of the tail as we find that strong, strong center. And then hands by our side. From here, let's jump it in thin like a pin. Boom. Shifting, standing half lotus, second side. Hands find the hips as we shift weight onto left foot. Bending that left knee to find a sense of balance. We'll bring that right ankle on top of the thigh. Sitting down in our invisible chair. Hands either stay on the hips or hands find the heart. Maybe we stretch those hands high to the sky. High hands come back to the hips. We can straighten that standing leg. We can lift this right thigh high, the toe points down. Either staying here or lengthening through the leg. Lifting that leg just a little higher. And then move towards warrior three. As we slide that foot through, feel free to tap that toe down. And we start to pitch the body forward. Back leg long. Either keeping hands on hips or stretching hands back. Finding our airplane, our eagle arms out to the side. Sweeping the hands in front. I'll invite you to lift the face as if you're looking through a large glass ball. From here, let's bend the standing leg. Take your time as we ground down through two hands. We'll find standing half splits as we lift that back leg high. From standing half splits, finding low lunge as we ground that back foot down. Back heel stays lifted as we bring hands to hips. And then stretching those hands high to the sky. Moving towards our twist, left hand finds the hip as we reach. The twist starts with the wrist. We slide to the elbow, either staying here or finding your prayer hands, either looking down off to the side or up past that top elbow with that mixture of effort and ease. Wherever you choose to work, breathing, watching your breath, and enjoying that reflection upon your breath. And I didn't go sideways first side, let me go sideways second side. Make sure I can still see you. Coming out of our twist easily as we frame front foot with both hands. From here, grounding back knee, unfurling the back foot, walking this front foot forward, keeping the integrity of knee over heel and in line with the toes. We can angle the toes out once, heel finds the toes, angling the toes out one more time, and then two arms inside that front leg. As we melt ourselves down, some of you all be able to find the forearms. Others of us don't go as low. Again, being super mindful of this knee right over the heel, in line with the toes. Awesome. As we hold the shape, another 2 or 3 breaths, maybe adding a little swing, a little sway, just seeing how that left hip feels this morning. And whatever arises, watching it like you might watch clouds in the sky. From our lizard or gecko stretch, we'll come back up to 2 straight arms. We'll bring this foot back in. From here, coming back to our low lunge as we lift that back knee. And from low lunge, back to down dog. As you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Again, take your time. Let me grab it first.
Yep. Thanks.
No worries.
Better grip on the roof.
A little hard on the knees though, I find.
Yeah.
From down dog shape, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump. Take a breath to finally. Exhaling, folding. Again, let's find that standing forward fold as we widen our stance. Catching opposite elbows in, gently swaying it from side to side. Now switching across to the elbows, keep swaying side to side. And then let's do our low backs a fave here. As we bring hands onto our thighs, as we push into the thighs, masterfully rolling ourselves up, chin is tucked. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, 2 hands high in the air, 3 big full body breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, and then inhaling, hands to heart. Either keeping that light press of the palms or adding that isometric engagement as we connect with our center. And then hands by our side. From here, let's work a few breathing exercises. I love these. Good time to have good, strong lungs. Making 2 fists with the hands. We'll bring the fists just below the navel. On the inhale, we'll trace a line from the navel through the heart. We'll open up the fists as we press palms to the sky, exhaling. Maybe letting that exhale come out through the mouth. Let's do 6 of these. Inhale. Inhale. Halfway done. Last 2. Last one. and then back on down. From here, one hand up, one hand down, and we'll take a twist to each side, and we'll inhale into that twist. So inhale to prepare, exhale, and then inhale, we turn, we push one hand up, one hand down, exhaling through center, inhaling other side. And let's do 6 of these. Halfway done. Last 2. Last one each side. And then back to center. From here, let's, I call them bird beak fingers. It's a good way to channel the energy of the hands as 4 fingers connect on the top of the thumb. And we can bring those bird beaks to the top of our shoulders. We can lean a little bit forward and just loosening up all the muscles around our lungs as we roll one shoulder front and then the other. And let's do 6 of these. Here's 3. Here's 5. And here's 6. Now let's take it the other way for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And down. Stationary, shooting the hawk to both sides. Hands find the heart. We're going to turn to the left. We're going to push out with the left hand, pull back with the right as if we're firing a bow and arrow, breathing into our back lungs. Exhaling through center. We're going to turn to the right. We'll push out with the right. We'll pull back with the left, breathing into back lungs. And let's do 6 of these. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more each way. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then back to center. One more breath exercise. We're going to soften the knees. We're going to roll down our spines. We start with the chin. We start to roll it on down. Almost like, I always think of a yo-yo here, just letting that yo-yo hang. When we get down, relaxed neck, heavy head. On the inhale, we're going to make 2 fists with the hands as we breathe in to our back lungs. Breathing in. Breathing out, spinning the palms out as we exhale, softening back lungs. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. 3 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then let's work our roll up, either using the assist with the hands on the thighs or letting the arms hang free. Lots of core engagement to support the low back as we masterfully roll ourselves up. One more time, 2 hands high in the air as if we're holding a big ball, and 3 big full body breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and then bringing hands to heart, and either keeping that light press of the palms or adding that isometric engagement. Strong, steady, and sure in our center. And then hands by our side. From here, let's jump it in thin like a pin. And then let's jump it out wide like a house. Let's find a half squat here. Hands find the hips. We can angle the toes out. And then rocking it on down. When we get to our half squat, we can bring knees over heels as elbows find the inner thighs, hands find the heart. And I'll invite you to keep rocking that squat from side to side, just getting into those hips. And then from here, let's land the knees lightly as we bring our feet off to one side. From here, let's find legs in a loose diamond shape. And there'll be some separation between the heels. Yeah, so go a little bit like that. This is called Tarasana, named after a green-skinned goddess of compassion. Very cool. From Tadasana, we're going to move towards Kurmasana. We're going to feed our arms underneath our legs. We can hinge at the hips, keeping neutral spine as long as you can. And depending on where your back is this morning, staying in neutral spine, back of the head in line with the sacrum, or letting the spine round as we tuck the chin and breathe into our back. There's a mantra that goes with this shape. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. And holding for another couple of breaths, just letting your groin soften with every exhale. With every inhale, finding a little more space in your back. Those back lungs, super, super important. Now a tuck of the chin as we unfeed our arms, coming back up. One of my favorite poses, could be fun to do here on the roof, as we catch our ankles and we start to balance on our tailbone, either staying here or catching big toes with our peace sign fingers, and then either working here or long through those legs, letting those inner thighs soften as we spread those legs wide. From here, let's find a butterfly in the air. This time the soles connect. We ground the feet on down. Either hands catch ankles or using your thumbs on the insoles of the feet to open the feet up like a book. Take a breath to sit tall. Then again, hinging at the hips, either keeping neutral spine or letting the spine round. And very similar to the Kurmasana, but a little more sensation in those inner thighs. But we can use that same mantra. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. And then holding for another breath or so, just letting those inner thighs soften, letting those groins melt into the ground with every exhale. With every inhale, finding a little more space in those back lungs. And then a tuck of the chin as we roll it on up. I'll suggest we use our hands to close those thighs, keeping our inner thighs soft. We can go long through one leg and then long through the other. Let's do a long, slow roll down onto our back as we tuck tail and chin, slowly laying ourselves down. I think you have enough space.
Oh yeah, I was like, damn, taking
As
my
close
mat.
to the edge.
I was like, he's gonna make me some like back exercises now. I'm taking the mats, and it was my idea. Okay.
Full body stretch when we get down, pointing fingers and toes, and then sweeping hands by our side as we lay our head down, doing whatever else feels right and good for you this morning. As we find our final relaxation shape, our Shavasana. As we hold the shape, feeling front plane melting into back plane, feeling both planes of the body melt into the floor or the roof. I'm going to ring these bells 3 times. At home, feeling free to hold your Shavasana. I like to hold it for 10 or 15 minutes to get that incredible sense of deep relaxation, just letting everything melt and be there for a long time. For the purposes of this 45-minute session, I'm going to ring these bells 3 times. I invite you to listen to the striking of the bell, its duration, its diminution, and in that space of silence after the sound has gone away. At home, feeling free to stay wherever you are. Feel free to keep on doing whatever you're doing. For the purposes of this class, I'll invite you to wiggle your fingers and toes, inviting more prana into your body, more life force. Now, inviting that prana in towards center as we circle wrists and ankles. A little shimmy of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips, whatever feels right and good for you as you connect with your feeling body. And then drawing one knee at a time in towards your heart. Unless you're already seated.
Okay.
Drawing one knee at a time in towards your heart as your hands catch your shins. Using your thighs to massage your center of balance. Rolling it side to side. And then rolling onto one side, hanging out there for a breath. And now pushing into our, as we come up to that cross-legged sit. I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, pulling back with your hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. From here, I'll let you to find 5 fingers of one hand find the ground. The palm of the other hand faces the sky. A slight tuck of the chin. Ending our practice as we started, just watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga, and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. Namaste.
That's great.
Thank you, Markel.
Thank you, Mr.
And thank you, everyone at home.
Thank you, Facebook land. Have a great day.
And have a great day.
That was good.
That's good. It starts to get cloudy up here now.
I don't know why it broke up the first time.
I think we had a Wi-Fi issue.
Oh, yeah.